Welcome to PY2025 and the DVP program training. My name is Nate, and in this training we will discuss the DVP program in detail, as well as the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, or LIHEAP for short. Before we get started though, be sure to have your packet handy, as well as a pen or a highlighter to take notes to help you retain. If you prefer, you can always follow along with the packet digitally by using the table of contents to jump to where you want to go. Are you ready? Let's get started. So, what is LIHEAP? LIHEAP is administered by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and distributes block grants to the states, which then pass the funds on to eligible individuals and families. To qualify for the program, a household's income must not exceed the income guidelines set by the state and federal governments. We can envision LIHEAP as a flower with multiple petals branching off from it. The LIHEAP flower encompasses several distinct benefits that we will briefly define here. Direct vendor payment, or DVP. This program assists customers by paying a one-time benefit directly to the vendor. These vendors include ComEd, Peoples Gas or North Shore Gas, and Nicor. In this training, we will discuss this petal of the LIHEAP flower at length. Reconnection Assistance, or RA. This program aims to prevent or minimize the threat of service disruption. It provides reconnection assistance to avoid service disruption or reestablish service. Cash Assistance, or CA. This program provides a one-time benefit for customers whose utilities are included in their rent. Oil or propane. This program assists eligible households whose heating source is oil or propane. Households will receive a one-time benefit payment to their oil or propane vendor. Percentage of Income Payment Plan, or PIP. A budget bill program that may provide a monthly benefit towards the household's bill, and the customer will be required to pay the rest. It also allows the customer to set aside their past due amount and receive a monthly benefit that pays off the past due balance over time. Furnace Assistance. This program provides repairs or replacements for red-tagged or inoperable furnaces. Note, though, that furnace assistance is available for qualifying DVP and PIP customers. This is why furnace is a leaf on the LIHEAP flower rather than a petal. All who qualify for furnace assistance can apply if they have an approved DVP or PIP application for the current program year. LIHEAP is an extensive program. So in this section, we will summarize the important points about this program year, define DVP, and outline some key dates for DVP. DVP applications comprise the bulk of all LIHEAP applications. Direct vendor payments go straight from the state to the utility, granting a one-time payment for the program year. This amount applies directly to one or both household energy bills, heating and electric. At no point does any benefit get sent directly to the customer. The DVP benefit is often considered the base LIHEAP benefit, and customers can potentially receive additional amounts depending on their qualifications. However, DVP is not a fixed amount. Instead, it is calculated by a series of matrices based on the information about the household size, total income, and fuel type. The LIHEAP program will begin on October 1st, 2024 and run until August 15th, 2025, or until funds are exhausted. To help the most vulnerable populations within communities first, there will be only one priority period during which only select households will be eligible to apply before the program is offered to all Cook County residents. Beginning October 1st, households with at least one member age 60 or older, persons with a disability, families with children 5 and under, and households disconnected or in danger of being disconnected from one or both utilities can apply for LIHEAP benefits. This population is also eligible to apply for furnace repair or replacement. The Furnace Assistance Program will be available until May 31st or until funds are exhausted. Then, beginning November 1st, all other Cook County households, including those in Priority Group 1, may apply for benefits. Now let's take a look at LIHEAP eligibility. All LIHEAP flower programs use the same base eligibility criteria. This means the customer must provide the same proof of DVP eligibility as they would for PIP. This section will discuss who qualifies for LIHEAP and the three components of LIHEAP eligibility: Social Security numbers, utility bills, and proof of income. Before we explain the three documents a household must submit, we must look at who qualifies for LIHEAP. Number one, the household that is income eligible according to the state and federal government's income guidelines for the program year, and two, the household that has not received a LIHEAP benefit, meaning DVP, PIP, RA, or CA in the current program year. A customer can only receive LIHEAP benefits once per program year. Additionally, a customer must choose between PIP and DVP benefits, as they cannot receive both. This is often called double dipping. All new household members listed on an application must provide proof of their Social Security number. Proof of Social Security numbers are not needed from individuals who have received LIHEAP benefits in a previous program year. Acceptable proofs of a Social Security number would be the original Social Security card, meaning all 9 digits and the name are visible, or a restricted Social Security card, which could be a card that is not valid for employment or one that is valid for work only. A restricted Social Security card must be supported by one of the following documents listed here: an Immigration and Naturalization Form I-551, an INS Form I-327, Permit to Re-Enter, or an INS Form I-94, Arrival and Departure Record. Please note that this is just a few of the support documents that can be used. You can find a complete list of a support document on pages 8 and 9 of your packet. Other documents would include a 1099 tax form with the customer's full name and all 9 digits being visible. This form is not proof of income, though. Also, a printout of a Social Security Administration or SSA benefit or a Supplemental Security Income or SSI benefit from the SSA. The customer's name, Social Security number, and the SSA stamp must be visible on the printout. To expand access to LIHEAP benefits for undocumented Cook County residents, households with undocumented members can submit either an individual tax identification number or an ITIN, or a special identification number for the undocumented, or a SIN for you, in place of a valid Social Security number. If a customer does have an ITIN, the EST is required to enter their ITIN into the respective portal, LIHEAP.net or STARS, in the Social Security number field of their application. The customer will be requested to submit proof of their ITIN, and they can do so by submitting the renewal of ITIN notice as seen in the example here. If a customer does not have this proof, they can submit a written statement with their full name and the 9-digit ITIN. If a customer does not have an ITIN, the EST must assign the customer a SIN for you. Each partner intake site will have a bank of SIN for yous for undocumented customers at the site's discretion. No further proof is needed for this customer, and you can proceed with the intake of their application as usual. The SIN for you is utilized for customers who do not have a Social Security number or an ITIN, particularly for applying to programs like DVP, RA, PIP, or Furnace. This section outlines the scenarios under which a SIN for you is assigned. Eligibility and restrictions include the following. Households with one or several SIN for yous must use specific energy providers, meaning ComEd, Peoples Gas, or NICOR. While Furnace is now eligible, oil or propane vendors are currently not eligible for SIN for you customers. For the SIN for you assignment process for customers without an ITIN, the partner intake sites have a bank of SIN for yous for undocumented customers. ESTs will assign a SIN for you when a customer lacks an ITIN. And remember that no additional proof is required for these customers. For intake site procedures, before assigning a new SIN for you, search for an existing customer on LIHEAP. If not found, assign a new SIN for you and report the application ID to your supervisor for their records. And repeat customers should use their previously assigned SIN for you. Some unacceptable proofs of Social Security numbers would include, for example, the Social Security number application process or the SNAP printout. This printout is invalid as this is only proof of an application for a replacement Social Security card. This document only shows the customer's last 4 digits of their number. Additional unacceptable proofs of a Social Security number would include those listed on check stubs, 1040 tax forms, bank statements, Mexican consulate cards, metal Social Security cards, rental leases, or a Medicare card. Customers who previously received a LIHEAP benefit are not required to submit a copy of their Social Security number. To better service our energy service customers and simplify the verification process, when Social Security numbers are verified using a previously approved LIHEAP application, LIHEAP.net must be notated what application ID number was used to validate the household member's Social Security number. For Social Security numbers confirmed on a previous year's approved LIHEAP application, the EST must enter a comment into the LIHEAP.net application portal. Enter the household member's name and application ID number into LIHEAP.net in the required documentation household Social Security numbers comment section to document where the numbers were captured. This comment must be entered anytime a household member's Social Security number, ITIN, or SIN4U is verified from a previous year's approved application. Utility bill account numbers for gas and electric accounts are required at intake. A copy of the most recent bill is to be requested of the customer. An application should not be denied or delayed if the customer cannot provide a bill and the account number communicates with LIHEAP.net. If LIHEAP.net communicates a system reject, a bill will be required. While a physical bill is not always required, it does assist in confirming the service address, customer of record, and the type of gas and/or electric account. During intakes, ESTs are to verbally or physically confirm that a customer's bill contains the 6 main parts of a utility bill. Number 1, service class and load type. LIHEAP only assists with customers who are residential accounts. 2, you'll need to verify the account number. Enter this number into LIHEAP.net without dashes. 3 is the customer of record or the COR. 4, the service location, not to be confused with the mailing location. 5, the issue date. And number 6, the messages update portion of utility bills. Check to see if the customer is already enrolled in PIP, as this would disqualify them from receiving DVP benefits for the program year. You can look for codes like PIP Pledge or PIP Benefit. Customers can apply for benefits for one or both of their utility bills. Take a moment to pause here and review the bill examples in your packet on pages 14 through 18. The last component a household must submit with their LIHEAP application is proof of income for all household members 18 and older from the 30 days prior to and including the application date. Applicants are not to be turned away for presenting income slightly outside the application period as long as it covers a consecutive 30 days of income within the current program year. For an easy way to calculate the 30-day range for which proof of income must be documented, use the app period calculator. A request for the app period calculator can be made through your partnership coordinator or the partner site help desk. As with all LIHEAP benefits, including DVP, households applying must be under the income guidelines set by the state and federal government each program year. These income amounts are calculated by a series of matrices and fluctuate yearly. Income guidelines and flexibilities are subject to change. Refer to all site email communications for the most up-to-date information or one is available on the Google Drive. Unfortunately, though, these guidelines are absolute. Even a single amount over the guidelines will result in an over-income denial of the customer's application. Now that we grasp the eligibility criteria for the LIHEAP programs and the documents customers will submit to prove eligibility, let's review the actual LIHEAP programs themselves. In this section, we will discuss direct vendor payments, reconnection assistance, oil and propane, furnace assistance, and cash assistance. We briefly defined DVP earlier in this training. This benefit is paid directly to the vendor or utility. It is the most popular of the LIHEAP benefits because of its flexibility. The DVP benefit amount is based on a series of matrices that consider a household's income and family size. Unlike the PIP benefit, there is no additional responsibility on the customer's part to receive a DVP benefit. DVP applications have up to 30 days from the date the customer applies to be approved or denied by CETA's processing unit. This 30-day processing time frame gives the customer 15 days to submit the required documentation after the application date and thus leaves CETA with 15 days to verify the documents received from the customer. Similar to DVP, reconnection assistance is also a one-time payment made directly to the utility company for customers with an imminent disconnection or disconnected status on one or both utilities. Some customers may be eligible for RA benefits and the DVP grant. In PY 2025, the RA grant can cover up to $1,500 combined of any outstanding balance that customer needs to cover to be reconnected to their utility, heating or electric. However, the RA benefit amount for each customer is based on a minimum amount needed to reconnect services. No customer portion responsibility, or CPR, is needed for a customer to receive the RA benefit. However, the customer will still be responsible for paying any outstanding balance that the DVP and RA benefits did not cover. After DVP and RA benefits are applied, customers with a remaining balance are directed to call their utilities to see about payment options. To ensure all disconnected and imminently disconnected households are served as soon as possible, the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic and Opportunity requires that crisis assistance, reconnection, and furnace assistance be provided within 48 hours or 18 hours when a life-threatening condition exists in the household. These time frames start once all customer documentation has been submitted. DVP, RA, and furnace applications that have been submitted and include all customer eligibility documents are expected to be processed within 48 hours. If the 48-hour time frame has been exceeded for reconnection assistance applications and all eligibility documents have been submitted, partner intake sites can escalate their concerns to the partner site help desk or their respective partnership coordinator. Effective May 2, 2024, to improve our support for eligible energy service customers, CETA implemented changes to the Cash Assistance Program. Previously, only households with both utilities included in rent were eligible for cash benefits. Customers proving that both utilities are included in rent remain eligible for cash assistance. Customers with an active primary heating account with Peoples Gas, North Shore, and Nicor, and whose electric bills are included in their rent will not be eligible for secondary cash assistance. These changes mean that customers are eligible to receive a cash benefit for their primary heating and a DVP and/or RA benefit for their secondary electricity account if they meet the following criteria. The requirements for cash assistance are very similar to LIHEAP's general eligibility components. A customer applying for cash assistance must submit proof of the following. All new household members must provide proof of Social Security numbers. A documented record in LIHEAP.net that the customers previously received a LIHEAP benefit will also suffice as proof of those Social Security numbers. Proof of 30-day income is required for all household members age 18 and above. Proof that heating bills are included in rent and that rent exceeds 30% of the household's income. Proof may include a lease or rent receipt or completed rent verification form stating that utilities are included in the rent and the household must have an active electric account under the name of an adult household member. If the customer cannot access their current lease or their lease is missing relevant information, they can submit the rent amount verification form. It is required to be filled out by their landlord or property manager with all sections filled in. When entering the household information, remember to note for cash assistance applications that they are being processed as cash payments in LIHEAP.net. When entering the application, right after verifying the service address under Household Information, click the box Cash Payment for cash assistance applications. LIHEAP assistance is also available to customers whose primary heating source is oil or propane. LIHEAP provides utility assistance to income-eligible households, some of whom are mobile homeowners, in the form of a one-time benefit payment to their oil or propane vendor that is applied directly to the household's energy bill. The payment amount is determined by income, household size, and fuel type. These customers may also qualify for reconnection assistance where applicable. Common oil and propane vendors include More Oil, AmeriGas Propane, Bell Fuels, Ferrell Gas, Osco Diesel and Gas, and Village of Winnetka. These vendors must be entered into LIHEAP.net as the primary utility, and a copy of the bill must be submitted with the application. Customers with oil or propane accounts are only eligible to receive LIHEAP DVP and RA benefits. Therefore, customers with an oil or propane vendor must be entered into LIHEAP.net. Remember, there are 6 main parts of the bill ESTs need to review to determine eligibility. Look for the account number, the invoice date, customer of record, service location, account activity, and the message. Furnace Assistance is a grant specifically for helping customers repair or replace their heating system to return it to a safe and effective operation. The Furnace Assistance Program works on a voucher system, allowing the customer to make their own choice in selecting a heating contractor. Furnace Assistance is only available to approved households that have received or are eligible for LIHEAP benefits. Qualifying customers can receive Furnace Assistance in addition to other LIHEAP programs. The Furnace Assistance Program will be available starting October 1st and will run until May 31st or until funds are exhausted. The customer is allowed to apply within their priority period or after. Customers can apply for Furnace Assistance once every program year as long as their heating system meets the program requirements, and only one furnace replacement benefit per dwelling is allowed for a period of 10 years. The furnace case managers at CETA will assist the customer throughout the process, so as an intake worker, you are only responsible for assisting in the intake of the customer's application and explaining to them the next steps of the process and that approval is not guaranteed. In addition to having an approved DVP or PIP application for the current program year, these are the additional eligibility requirements for customers applying for Furnace Assistance. A household member must be a homeowner. If a landlord wants to apply, they must reside at the property and must submit proof of ownership and any income they receive from rentals. Only the landlord's individual heating system or essential heating system for the whole building would qualify for work. If a customer lives in a condominium, the owners must have a separate heating system from the other units in the house or the building. The customer's home heating system must be either non-operational or red tagged, meaning it is deemed unsafe to operate by the utility company. To simplify eligibility for Furnace Assistance, the following groups of people are not eligible: renters, multifamily buildings with 5 or more units in a building with a single central heating system, homes with no existing heating unit, and home units with ownership solely in a deceased person's name. Use this table shown as a guide, which is found on page 27 of your packet. Documents that need to be sent to the customer are the application page, any CETA income documents completed on behalf of the customer, the universal signature page, and specific to Furnace Assistance, the Furnace Program Affidavit. Documents needed from the customer include 30-day income for all household members 18 or older, utility bills, the signed universal signature page, and exclusive to Furnace Assistance, 2 proofs of property ownership, and a signed Furnace Program Affidavit. After confirming eligibility, now we need to collect several additional furnace-specific documents from the customer to demonstrate proof of home ownership with 2 documents, one being the tax bill, which is required, and one of either a current mortgage or loan statement or any county court record, including the quitclaim deed. Let's review each of those further. The required document is a current within 30 days tax bill that shows the customer's full name and a property address that matches the mailing address. The customer can then choose one of the following as their secondary proof of ownership. Then, one of either a current within 30 days mortgage billing statement or loan statement that shows the customer's full name and property address that matches the mailing address. Note that the mortgage or loan statement cannot be more than 90 days past due. Any property pending 90-day foreclosure or has already entered a foreclosure state is not eligible for Furnace Assistance. Or finally, any recorded county court record document. This includes a quitclaim deed, a warranty deed, authorization statements from the executor of a blind trust, or a contract for deed. If there is more than one owner and the second owner is deceased, the customer must provide the deceased owner's death certificate. If the second owner isn't living within the household, that listed owner must submit an official document showing their current residency. Also, mobile homeowners only need to submit the original vehicle title as proof of ownership. They do not need to submit any of the previously mentioned documents. The Furnace Program Affidavit will explain 3 important terms that the customer must check and sign off on. Number 1, the customer is responsible for finding a safe place to stay during the application process. CETA will not be responsible for supplying temporary heat to the property. The customer is not guaranteed to approve for furnace assistance by simply applying, and the customer will review the furnace maintenance and troubleshooting tips included in the furnace affidavit. Note that the customer must sign this form in addition to the universal signature page. There are two routes for a customer applying for furnace assistance to take. Both routes rely on the customer having an approved LIHEAP DVP benefit for the current program year or LIHEAP PIP enrollment within 12 months of the furnace application date. This figure shows us how to proceed taking applications for customers seeking furnace assistance. Once all the customer's documents and complete application have been submitted to CETA Central, it will be treated with greater urgency, moving faster through CETA's processing unit compared to a DVP application. This timeline depicts the order of events with estimated timeframes to be communicated to customers applying for furnace assistance. Take a moment to pause here and view both the intake flow and timeline on pages 32 and 33 of your packet. The documents a customer submits with their application reveal a wealth of important information. LIHEAP documentation paints a picture of the household. In addition, documents supporting the application must have all necessary proof of eligibility. This section will break down disability, income, and programmatic forms used throughout the application and the intake process. We will describe the purpose, layout, and application of each form. In addition, we will provide instructions on where to find each of the following documents so that they can be easily reached during the intake process. Beginning October 1st, households with persons with a disability are eligible to apply. Let's consider what is acceptable proof of disability. An applicant or any household member is disabled for the purposes of the Energy Assistance Program and eligible to apply for benefits during the priority period if they are determined to be totally and permanently disabled or blind by a government entity or a medical professional, and in addition, they are receiving or have been approved for federal Social Security disability benefits, civil service disability, federal supplemental security income benefits based on blindness or disability, Veterans Administration disability benefits, railroad retirement disability benefits, and state pension or payment based on blindness or disability. Now let's review the types of income customers may have and how they can document this income. Income documentation is crucial for a customer to be determined eligible for any LIHEAP benefit. As with any eligibility criterion, all household members age 18 or older must submit proof of all gross income earned within the last 30 days, including the date of application. Types of income include wages from an employer, self-employment, unemployment benefits, child care, child support, foster care, adoption assistance, cash earned or gifted, any source of fixed income, alimony, and general assistance. Let's review how customers can submit proof of these various income sources. If a household member is earning wages, all pay stubs received in the last 30 days, including the date of application, must be included. It is important to note that not all check stubs look the same. However, the information we're looking for is universal. In this example, we will highlight the areas we are looking for to ensure that this is acceptable proof of income. Highlighted within a red outline, we can see the 5 main areas of a check that we need. Number 1, the company letterhead. 2, advice date or date of pay. This reflects the date on which the check was received. Name of recipient. This ensures we are collecting proof of income for the correct individual. Gross pay amount. Income is determined by the gross amount earned, not the net amount earned. Recording the wrong amount may incorrectly deem a customer eligible. Year to date. The year to date is important as it reflects the gross amount paid during a calendar or fiscal year. It allows for a review to see if the information is accurate and helps calculate missing check stubs. Remember, when adding income, always drop the cents at the end. When reviewing check stubs, it is important to note that certain income types should be removed from the customer base pay when calculating income. Customers who have overtime, training, travel reimbursement, meals, non-recurring income except for PTO, bonuses, Parsonages, which is housing or rental assistance, and shift differentials will not be considered in the 30-day calculation of income. Eligibility is determined based on the customer's base or regular pay to calculate gross earnings. This base or regular pay will be the amount entered into LIHEAP.net where income is reported. An income affidavit must be used to document the base income or adjusted gross income since it differs from the wage statement. Any check stubs or earning statements must be included with a complete income affidavit using the gross income adjustment option. In this example, under income type, you would select gross income adjustment. Under gross income amount, record the adjusted gross amount. Under source, note the source of income and then enter income as gross income as listed on the income affidavit. Presumptive eligibility can be used for DVP, RA, and PIP applications when an applicant's documentation includes that the household is over income in the required time frame but is likely to qualify in the coming 30 days. For example, if the household is over income but has documentation that the household member's job has been terminated, enter income as 0. If the household is over income but has documents indicating that a household member's unemployment benefits have been terminated, enter income as 0. For allowable doc pay deductions, the state has also updated its policy to reflect accurately the customer's earnings affected by doc pay. Partner intake sites are instructed to assess LIHEAP eligibility based on gross income post-doc pay deduction. To get this information, calculate the gross income after reducing the docked pay and then record this adjusted gross pay into LIHEAP.net. Refer to page 42 of your packet for more details. Unemployment benefits are considered income and treated in a very similar way to wages. The unemployment payment detail shows a breakdown of 2 weeks' worth of unemployment payments. Ideally, the customer would submit payment details covering the entire 30-day application period. However, one payment detail accompanied by an income affidavit will suffice. Note though, if the payment detail reflects a recoupment amount, you should add this back into the income. UCB benefit award letters showing the weekly benefit amount can be used to figure the 30-day income by multiplying the amount by 4 weeks. In this example, review the certification dates on the letter. Customers should receive their first check approximately 2 weeks after this date. Then, when calculating the weekly benefit amount, remember to include the dependent allowance. If a customer receives child care income from the state, it should be entered as income for the customer. Customer receiving child support payments must be counted as household income. However, child support is to be listed as the child's income. Let's review this a little bit further. The children who receive child support for this example are not listed on the document. If more than one child in the household splits this payment, the customer must write the children's name on the documentation and show what portion is for each child. When adding income, always remember to drop the cents at the end when all payments have been totaled. A common form of income many of our customers have are Social Security Administration, or SSA, and Supplemental Security Income, or SSI, benefits. You will find that we must read the entire award letter to ensure that we list the correct amount in the system. Take a moment and review some of the examples listed on pages 47 and 48 in your packet of benefit award letters to become familiar with them. Benefits from the Department of Veterans Affairs are considered income. If a customer receives benefits from the VA, they must be reported on the application. These letters are pretty simple. In this example, we can confirm that this letter is from the Department of Veterans Affairs and confirms the recipient's name. Additionally, we can confirm the amount they receive monthly. Some customers have been issued a letter from the Social Security Administration showing a breakdown of monthly VA payments. This is another way you can validate a customer's VA payment. Please use this letter to determine income eligibility based on the listed SSI, SSA, and VA payments. If the VA benefits are listed on the SSI/SSA letter, then a Veterans Affairs award letter is not required. Applicants should not be requested to provide an additional document for proof of VA payments if it is clearly identified on the SSA or SSI letter that the customer receives a monthly VA benefit. Instead, enter the VA payment amount as other in LIHEAP.net. Benefits from the Railroad Retirement Board are considered income. If a customer receives these benefits, they must be reported. In this example, we are confirming that this letter is from the Railroad Retirement Board and confirming the name of the recipient. Additionally, we can confirm the amount they receive monthly. In this example, we can see that they receive a total benefit of $866. Notice that the customer is receiving two benefits. The first one is the Railroad Retirement Benefit of $427 and a Social Security benefit by the railroad of $439. Benefits received from the Department of Human Services through either Temporary Assistance to Needy Families, or TANF, or Aid to the Aged, Blind, and Disabled, AABD, must be counted as income, as these are benefits paid directly to the customer. In this example, we can see a DHS award letter for AABD benefits. We can tell it is for AABD by looking at the first two digits of the case number. Please notice the breakdown of each of the codes below. AABD codes are 01, 02, and 03. For TANF, codes are 04 and 06. The amount listed in the Cash in the Amount Of section is where you would find the customer's monthly AABD or TANF gross amount. Alimony is financial support that a court orders a person to give their spouse during a separation or following a divorce. Alimony is generally awarded monthly in Illinois, with the court deciding how and when payments are made. EST should confirm the following: the recipient's name, the payee, pay frequency, and the amount received. Foster children are not included in the LIHEAP application, even when Social Security cards are presented, unless they are legally adopted with proof of adoption or guardianship. The income from foster parent reimbursement must not be counted as income. Foster care can be submitted as proof of support for zero-income households unless the child has been adopted, in which case it will serve as proof of income. Note, though, if the child has been adopted, the child can be added to the application and the income should be counted as income and listed under the child's name. An acceptable proof of legal adoption would include court records showing proof of the adoption, birth certificates showing the adopted parent's name, or a post-adoption letter. The letter must include all of the pages. Please note, though, if the child has been adopted, the child can be added to the application and the income should then be counted as income and listed under the child's name. The General Assistance Office provides financial assistance, information, referrals, and guidance to township residents facing hardship. It's important to note, though, that different local townships and county governments run these General Assistance Offices, and each have their own program and rules. Additional forms are needed to document a household's income fully. For instance, how do we document a household with zero income in the last 30 days? How do we document income for someone who gets paid in cash? What about a self-employed customer? CETA provides all these forms, which can be requested by the site's partnership coordinator or the partner site help desk. If needed, the EST will send or complete the necessary CETA forms for the customer. In this section, we will review the following forms and how to use them: the income affidavit, verification of assistance form, the income statement, and the self-employed worksheet. The income affidavit is the most versatile form at CETA. The income affidavit can be used to report multiple types of income with a simplistic format. It has many uses and can be used for the following: to report income from AABD or TANF if the award letter is missing, report any cash earned or gifted, cash tips, general assistance, cash gifts, cash earned from odd jobs, missing one unemployment check stub, reporting zero partial income or presumptive income. Any household member age 18 or over reporting income from any of the above sources must be listed on the household income affidavit. Please pause here for a breakdown on how to fill out the income affidavit for its various purposes on page 62 of this packet. The verification of assistance form is used to support zero-income households receiving financial assistance from a non-household member. This form must be completed by the non-household member who assisted the household. The non-household member must document all monies paid for each household expense that was not directly given to the applicant. This form will only be completed if the entire household is zero income and there are no other supporting documents to support the ZIA. Remember, this form is only used when a non-household member pays the vendor directly. The income statement is a form used to document income from wages if the customer is missing check stubs, when check stubs are not consistent within the 30-day application time frame, or when the customer cannot access their check stub history. This form allows customers to take it directly to their employer to verify their 30-day income. The customer fills out the top half of this form, while the second half is completed by the customer's employer. The customer is to take a copy of this form to their employer and bring the copy back to the site to which they applied. A copy of the document needs to be included with your site's application and sent to CETA Central. Filling out the self-employed income worksheet correctly can be daunting for customers and intake workers. Independent contractors such as Uber and Lyft drivers will use this form to report any income they make from that job. Essentially, the form works as a worksheet for self-employed customers who are responsible for paying their taxes at the end of the year. With this form, these employees can calculate all of their expenses and deductions resulting in their net income. Let's break down this form into sections. In the top right of the form, we can write the intake site number, the application date, and app ID number. Underneath the name of the form, we can write the name of the self-employed applicant, the address of their business, and the type of business. In Section A, Gross Receipts or Sales, enter a single number representing the customer's gross revenue. This amount must be verified by receipts and/or a ledger. If it's not, the application will be denied. Section B, Deductions of Expenses Related to the Business. Itemize and add up the 18 different types of business-related expenses. The amount listed in boxes 1 through 18 must add up to the amount listed next to Section B. This amount must be verified by receipts. If it is not, the application must be denied. In Section C, Wages Paid to the Owner, enter any wages paid to the business owner. If any amount is listed here, it should be reported on an income affidavit. If the owner is the applicant and paying wages to themselves, they should have a separate line item on the income affidavit. In Section D, Wages Paid to Other House Members, enter any wages paid to household members. This is used when the self-employed applicant is part of a family business. If any amount is listed here, it should be reported on an income affidavit. In Section E, Total Expenses, simply add together the amounts listed in the 3 previous sections, B, C, and D. For Section F, Net Profit or Loss, simply subtract the total expenses from the gross sales. If a couple owns their business, be sure that they report the net income is split evenly on their application in whatever portal they use. The self-employed income worksheet can be used for both household members. Only the application needs to show the income split between the co-owners. Be sure to include the income affidavit with this section as well. And finally, in the bottom section for authentication, in the part labeled 1, write the 30-day period that the income is being reported for, and in the part labeled 2, check whether or not the net income is available to the owner and/or other household members. The documentation request form assists both the EST and the applicant in knowing what documents are missing. This form is emailed or given to the customers as a reminder of the missing documents that must be uploaded to be completed. To complete the form, an EST would check the box next to each document the applicant must submit. The most important document on the customer's end of the intake process is the Universal Signature page. The USP is the central document for collecting the customer's consent to enroll in LIHEAP, an agreement to the applicant's statement. Signing the USP, no other initials or signatures are needed from the customer. 2 separate USPs are used for LIHEAP, so make sure you use the correct one when sending it to the customer. Advise the customer that it is highly recommended that they read the USP thoroughly to understand the terms they agreed to. Namely, they are agreeing to the information they provided on their application is correct and representative of their household. CETA can verify their information and their utilities, landlord, employer, and other sources of verification of the information. Their utility can share their usage and bill information with CETA and the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. The customer has received information outlining their appeals rights, and the customer is not guaranteed to receive assistance by simply applying, and the customer will receive a copy of their application. Applicants can submit their application themselves or utilize a proxy. A proxy is a separate person from outside the applicant's household who is assisting them by collecting and submitting LIHEAP documentation on their behalf. If using a proxy, the applicant does not need to fill out the USP. The proxy can sign the applicant's name in the signature field on their behalf. The proxy must enter their own name, phone number, relationship to the applicant, signature, and the date to consent to the proxy statement. It is also required that the proxy submits a letter from the applicant authorizing the proxy to complete the application on their behalf. To assist with the higher volume of applicants preferring remote intake, applicants can provide their e-signature instead. Applicants can e-sign by entering their full name into the e-signature tab of the Customer Inquiry Portal. After the applicant uploads all their documents, they can type their name into the signature box and click Save Signature. No further signatures are needed to complete the applicant's LIHEAP application. The State of Illinois Office of Energy Assistance has already developed a LIHEAP.net user guide to help end-level users navigate the site. The user guide contains detailed, numbered instructions on how to accomplish each task an EST would need to learn in LIHEAP.net. Screenshots of the portal accompany the instructions. We recommend that ESTs briefly read the manual to see if it's helpful to their understanding of LIHEAP.net. You can find the user guide under resource links on the right-hand side of the LIHEAP.net homepage at LIHEAP.net. CETA partner intake sites can conduct in-person intakes and must offer remote intakes. Regardless of how you decide to conduct the intake, the overall structure of the LIHEAP intake process is the same. This section will outline the process from when a customer walks into your agency or contacts you via phone or email. Please note, for PY2025, there is no new enrollment for PIP, so customers do not need to be entered into STARS first. A crucial intake step is an introductory conversation with the customer. In this conversation, ESTs will ask several probing questions to paint a vivid picture of the household's living arrangement and economic needs. This conversation helps us determine what programs the customer is eligible for and how we can maximize the assistance the customer can receive. Probing questions are necessary to determine what documentation is needed for the customer's application, but more importantly, it builds rapport and trust with the customer. It makes the intake process easier and less stressful for the customer. It allows you to discover the household's living arrangements and economic needs, and it helps you find out what documentation to collect. For a complete list of probing questions, please refer to page 76 of your packet. After you've probed for eligibility for all utility assistance programs, determining what benefits the customer can apply for, the next important step in the probing process is to refer the customer to other LIHEAP resources. Request a current copy of the resource referral and appeal rights document from your partnership coordinator or the partner side help desk. Keep a copy to reuse on your local computer. The guide contains important links and phone numbers of agencies, utilities, and programs relevant to LIHEAP and its many benefits. Customers should also receive a copy of the appeals rights and resource referral for their records. Partner intake sites are to continue offering remote intake for their customers, coupled with in-person intakes in some instances. This section will highlight some general tips or recommendations for remote intake at each stage of the intake process. Please note, though, that the steps we are going to name in this training are essential in the process of remote intake. The items in your packet that are listed below each step are suggestions and best practices that have worked for several or many other partner intake sites. Each site is to decide what works best for them. Those essential remote intake steps include: Step 1, the customer contacts your agency. Step 2, the customer sets up an appointment. Step 3, begin the intake with probing questions. Step 4, enter data into LIHEAP.net. Step 5, complete the necessary CETA forms. Step 6, review the application. Step 7, inform the customer of the next steps. Step 8, email the customer collecting documents. And then Step 9, submit the documents to CETA. As seen in previous program years, both remote and in-person intakes for LIHEAP can be challenging. You may have questions regarding DVP or any of the PY2025 programs. Do not hesitate to contact the Partner Side Help Desk at CETA Central for communications regarding these questions. You can also reach the help desk by emailing liheapsupport@cetaorg.net. Now let's review a few final reminders for the beginning of program year 2025. For PY25, remember that October 1st, Priority Group 1 with members 60 plus, persons with a disability, children 5 and under, and those disconnected or in danger of disconnection can apply for LIHEAP benefits as well as furnace repair or replacement. Then on November 1st, all other Cook County households can apply. And then remember, May 31st is the program end date for furnace unless funds exhaust first. Starting October 1st, Peoples Gas, North Shore, and Nicor customers who meet income guidelines can qualify for monthly discounts on their natural gas bills. To receive a discount, customers must apply and be approved for LIHEAP. Peoples Gas, North Shore, or Nicor customers who received a LIHEAP benefit between October 1st, 2023 and August 15th, 2024 will automatically receive the natural gas discount beginning on their October billing cycle. Be on the lookout for additional training and resources to enhance your knowledge on educating customers about how natural gas discounts and LIHEAP benefits can make their bills more affordable. Splitting a household is defined as intentionally completing 2 applications for a single household. All household members or applicants must be listed on the application as well as all income and eligible utilities. Some situations occur when a customer returns with additional utilities after an initial application, which may lead to compliance challenges and potential errors in handling the application. We want to review applications, especially when they involve different utility companies, to other sites. Remember to probe the customer for all household information. Check STARS and LIHEAP.net using the Social Security numbers, account numbers, and service addresses. And review the service address on the utility bill. An infraction will incur if a partner intake site, or EST, fails to follow the program policies and procedures regarding splitting households set forth by the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity and by CETA. And always remember that you are not alone in this process. If you need further support or resources, refer to your DVP packet and videos, all site emails, or reach out to your site program contact, your assigned partnership coordinator, and the partner site help desk at the information below. Thank you all for your time and participation in today's training. Your engagement and commitment to learning are essential to our success in delivering these critical programs. I appreciate your attention and look forward to seeing the positive impact of the knowledge you've gained today. Together, we can make a significant difference in the lives of those we serve. My name is Nate. Thank you again for your dedication, and thank you for watching.